Have you ever felt yourself to be everything to someone, and then, without reason or warning, they departed from your life like a shadow dissolving at dusk? Did your heart perceive that silence? Not the kind found in peace, but the heavy quiet left behind when words once deep now echo only as memory? You tried, didn't you, to bring them back? You reached out again and again, and yet your words seemed to vanish into the wind, unanswered, unheard. With each attempt, they drifted further, and within you arose the most human of questions. Was I never worthy? Were my feelings a one-sided offering? If your heart aches with this truth, if you feel your bond has faded beyond repair, then know this. This message is for you. Not to reopen wounds, but to deliver you a truth, one that, if taken to heart, will make you unshakable. Do not stop listening, for these words are forged from pain, but shaped into strength. At times, the soul longs to scream, to lay bare the storm within, to cry out to the world and ask why it was left to carry so much alone. But remember this, and remember it well, when you most desire to speak your hurt, and yet choose instead to remain silent, it is then you are strongest. This is my story, yes, but it may also be yours. I, too, have lost someone, not to death, but to distance. Someone who was the beginning of my day, the peace of my night, the stillness in my storm. And then one day, like the changing of a season, she was gone. I wanted to stop her. I wanted to scream, to beg her not to leave, to say, "Stay, don't go," but I said nothing. Because sometimes the truest strength is found not in holding on, but in letting go with dignity, in accepting what is, instead of clinging to what was. So if you are hurting, know this. Your worth is not diminished by someone's inability to see it. Your silence is not weakness, it is restraint, and in that restraint lies a power few possess. Walk forward. Carry your pain as a reminder, not of what you lost, but of what you were brave enough to feel. I chose silence, and in that silence I discovered myself. What is the strength of silence? Stoicism teaches us this, that while we cannot control events, we can master our reactions. When someone walks away from us, we instinctively try to hold on through words, through tears. But do they ever stay? Often they do not. And why? Because people do not stay where there is noise. They stay where there is peace. Relationships are not held together by words. They endure through character. And the first mark of character is this: to remain silent when every part of you wants to speak. When she left, I did not break. Yes, I cried, some nights into my pillow, some days standing in the rain. But no one knew. My friends believed I had moved on. But the truth? I didn't move on. I saved myself. I did not let my pain explode. I turned it into strength. Stoic silence is not weakness, it is wisdom. Being stoic does not mean you are emotionless. It means you do not impose the chaos within you upon the world around you, and when you remain silent, the person before you feels two things. First, regret. Why didn't you say anything? And second, confusion. How are you so calm when you're clearly shattered? It is in that very place between regret and confusion that power is born. What does silence give you? It protects your dignity. It stops you from falling. It casts the weight of guilt upon the one who left, without you needing to utter a word. And if they ever return, it is not because of your noise. It is because your silence echoed louder than any words could. When she left, I said nothing. She told me, "It's better if we part ways." And inside, I was torn apart. Every bone, every nerve, every breath screamed, "Talk to her. Tell her to stay." But I remained silent. All I said was, "Do what you believe is right." And then I hung up the call. And that was it. She left. I saw her for months, her photos, her stories, her smiles on social media. But I never sent a message, never made a call, never asked why. Not because I didn't care, but because I had already spoken with my silence. I began to change myself. I read through the nights. I ran at dawn. I spent time with my parents. I spoke to myself, honestly, patiently, and one day I smiled. Not out of habit, but from the heart. And then, after months of silence, her message came. "How were you so calm? Did you never truly care?" I gave no reply, because now, no reply was needed. My silence had already spoken. Why is silence strength? Because when you choose silence, you reconnect with yourself. You give the other person space to think. And most importantly, you protect your own foundation from collapse. Stoicism does not teach us to avoid pain. It teaches us how to carry it with dignity. Will you be able to stay silent? I do not know what door you're standing in front of, but if someone has left you, betrayed you, or given you a pain too deep for words, remember this one truth. You do not need to speak. Stay silent. Do not let your spirit fall. Because when you stand strong within, the very people who left you will one day feel the weight of their choice. Silence is not weakness. It is the storm held inward without thunder. And the next time your heart begs to say everything, pause and tell yourself, I am stoic. I do not need to answer. I need to stay grounded, because the one who does not lose themselves cannot be lost by anyone. This video is for all those who feel broken today, so they may understand. Silence is a response, and often the most powerful one. They say when someone wants to leave, there's no point in stopping them. I learned that too, but it was not easy. I felt the pain of watching someone you held close, someone who was part of your dreams, someone who lived in the deepest chamber of your heart, walk away without a word. I used to run after her. I used to hide my fear, clinging to threads of hope. But one day, I asked myself, am I so fragile that I must break every time someone walks away? Is my existence dependent on someone else? Or is my truth something deeper? Building yourself is the first duty. When someone leaves, the first thing you must do is hold yourself steady, because until you are strong within, you will never have the strength to fix anything around you. Master your reactions. When people leave us, our first reflex is anger, sadness, blame. But a stoic man handles these emotions as an artist handles his tools, with care, control, and discipline. I remind myself, do not be ruled by your emotions. Observe them, understand them, then release them. Because when you master your reactions, that is where true strength is born. You become the person whom others look at and say, even through great hardships, they never lost their dignity. Raise your value before you seek to win anyone back. Truth be told, when someone drifts away before trying to bring them back, the first question you must ask yourself is, do I have my own worth? Do I love myself enough not to break? I made myself so strong that I needed no one else. I became the one who loved myself for who I am. And that is the person the world wonders about. Why did we ever lose them? Introspection and honest conversation with yourself. I look within. I ask my heart, have I been unfaithful to myself? Have I valued who I am? Am I ready to be the hero of my own life? These questions reveal our true strength, and it is this introspection that changes us. It shows the way to improve ourselves. Think. What did you lose? What did you gain? When someone leaves, it does not mean everything is over. But often, what we lose is our peace, our happiness, our identity. I have learned that losing is necessary. But more important than losing is what comes after, finding yourself again. Be the person the world regrets losing. Become so whole, so complete, that no one's departure can shake you. Win the victory where people ask, why did we ever let them go? I want you to become that person whom others regret losing, yet who is so great within themselves that they no longer need to seek anyone's approval. A true Stoic would say, let those who must go, go. But when they see you have lifted yourself, built yourself so high that your absence is felt deeply, then they will surely return, and if they do not, it matters not, because you will know you have honored the greatest relationship, the one with yourself. Remember, no one is more powerful than your mind, but you can control your thoughts and reactions, and this is the true victory. Holding yourself together, loving yourself, and showing the world that losing you was their greatest mistake. If this message touched your heart, if it felt true for you, please like this video. Your like is a ray of hope to me. It inspires me to bring more of these words to you. And if you want to walk this path with me, to understand yourself and grow stronger, do not forget to subscribe. Share in the comments what you feel, what your story is, because here, none of us are alone. Share this video with your friends so they too can find this strength. Remember, your heart is the most precious thing you have, and it is your right to understand and protect it. I will wait for you on this journey, where together we will overcome our pain. Thank you, and until we meet again.